All right. Hello, everybody. This is Annette L. Anderson, and this is TNT Tuesday Night Talk. I think I'm a couple of minutes late. Well, anyway, I'm. Hold on. I'm going to share. Anyway, again, let me do my little spiel. My name is Annette L. Anderson. This is TNT Tuesday Night Talk, and this is the time that we take flight and soar. We speak, orate, articulate, and reverberate. We talk about a host of things. We talk about what may be going on in the community. We talk about the Word of God. We talk about some other things that fall on my heart. So while I'm waiting for you guys to come on, I'm going to share the broadcast. So when you come on, if you would please subscribe, like, and share. I would appreciate that so much. I really, really, really will. So there we go. Yes, there I am. So if you would share. Hey, Mildred. So I'm going to try to share it to as many people as I can. All righty. Give me a couple minutes here and I will get started. All righty. All right, great, great. So again, I'm Annette, and I will be your host tonight. And this is what I do every Tuesday. I come on and I talk about some things. Um, I want to thank a couple of ladies that came on with me last week. They were phenomenal. There's Pastor Lisa Brooks and Sabrina Howard David. They came on, and it really was pretty cool because we got caught up talking about crabs. I was so took it. I said, I love crabs, so we talked about that. And so I was so blessed to have them come on. And Sabrina shared with us, and she gave us such a revelation of her life. It was phenomenal. So I want to personally thank her. I give her a call and thank her again, her and Pastor Lisa for coming on, because I think it's so important that we hear somebody else's perspective on how they view life. And we were talking about some things, and she shared with us about her ministry and that God had called her to be a teacher, and also she's a praise and worship leader. She's a singer, and she's an entrepreneur. She does the jewelry, paparazzi, and also she make cakes and pies and all kind of sweet stuff. So it was really, 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 really exciting last week. I love it when people come on. Oh, she said, ah, yeah, I love when people come on because then, and two, also I get an opportunity to really to know people. Oftentimes we think we know people because you know, we've seen them or we work with them. Oh, Linda, thank you. I would call Lady Lord have mercy. Did I say Lisa? Lord have mercy, Linda. Pastor Linda Brooks. But we think sometimes that we know people because we work with them. We know their family, but you'll be surprised of the people who are gifted and they have so many gifts. And a lot of times we don't hear about it. And some kind of way, I want to come up with, especially women in this city, um, Volusia County, Flagler County, not just Daytona, but a way that we can have some type of directory so we can know what each other do, especially those of us who are in the church. We can, get an opportunity to really know what other people do, what are their gifts and stuff, and also then we can sow and give back to them. And so it's so important that we help one another. I said, I know it taught in the Bible, and just say, "Am I my brother's keeper?" Yep, you are. You're your brother and your sister keeper. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you have to reach across the aisle. Sometimes you have to help. Sometimes you have to sow into their ministry, sow into their lives. Sometimes you have to cover them with prayer. Whatever it takes, that's what you need to do. And so, hey, Sharon. And so that is so important to me to be able to do that. And I'm going to hopefully I can, some women I know, and then even if I don't know them, like I didn't know Pastor Linda, and she came on last week with Sabrina. It was like a kinship. It's like I knew her all my life. I had never seen her before in my life, and I was just, I enjoyed having her on here, and that's what's so important too. especially those of us who know the Lord, there's a certain kinship, a certain camaraderie, a certain connection a lot of times we have to people. And we don't really necessarily know them on a personal level, but you have that connection. Because I met a couple of ladies not too long ago, and one lives in Chicago, and the other one is in, I think she's in South Carolina. And it's like I've been knowing Angela and Arnita, they're sisters. Like I've been knowing them all my life. I've never met them. I had Angela on a few weeks ago. She came on as a guest, and that was really the first time I actually seen her. I saw pictures of her, but again, there's a certain connection that it's a spiritual connection that you meet people and you make those connections, and so that is so important. So I was so glad, like I say, for last week when they came on. And I thought about all week. I'll be honest, though, I was thinking about the crowds. Tell Pastor, I was thinking about the crowds. I ain't gonna lie. But it was good, it was good to have on it. And laughter is so important for the soul. I laugh a lot because it does me well. Even I don't know. I just love life, and the stuff I used to take so seriously, the stuff that used to have me down and out, and want to ball up in a little corner somewhere, it don't bother me anymore. I can laugh through a lot of things that really would torment me in my sleep and cause me to, not function like I should, but now I can laugh my way through it. So yeah. So on tonight, I'm going to share a couple of things with you, but I just want to, before I get started, I'm going to talk about brainstorming again tonight. Before I really get started on that, I just want to encourage people. I just want y'all to know that, I know sometimes when you look at the world, you look at the chaos, you look at the murders and the killings, and the people hurting children, and it almost sometimes seems like the enemy has won. But I'm here to let you know that he hasn't. There's just certain things that have to be fulfilled before Christ comes back. And so I just want to encourage you, whatever your business is, whatever your organization is, whatever you've been called to do. You may not have a business. Maybe God called you to work with children, or maybe he called you to be over your house and to pray for your family, because that's very important that we have a covering that I know we have our pastors, and that's fine. But also when we have our children and our grandchildren, it's so important that we pray to cover them, and and any and everybody who will have anything to do with our children is in school. My kids are grown, but I have grandkids that's in school, and nieces and nephews and their kids, and so I always try to pray for them that they don't come across pedophiles and all kinds of foolishness. And so it's so important to pray. It really is, y'all. It's a cover. And so I come on Tuesday nights at 9, and sometimes I say, dang, it seems kind of late. I say it every week, I don't know. But I come on because I think if I have 2 or 3 people on here, I think that's awesome, because maybe the message I have is for them. And my prayer is that at some point, when people come on, they'll bring somebody with them, and hopefully it will build this channel. But in the meantime, you have to be faithful over the few things. I know we all want to start grand and big. I would love to have more people, but I had to learn how to be a base and to be a bound. I have to know how it feels to be low, and I have to also know how it feels when God lifts me up. And so I'm learning now how to walk in that season, that even though sometimes it don't seem like things is coming together, it don't seem like things are lining up, it don't seem like I'm going to make it. God had made all these promises to me, and it don't seem like it's going to come through. But I come on to encourage you that it's going to work, but it does not work in our time. And I am so glad that God is over my life, because if I had got everything that I asked for, I would be in a mess right about now. I really would. And I'm so glad that he said no. I'm so glad that he said no for a whole lot of stuff in my life. So many things I wanted so bad, and I thought I was ready. But I'm learning it, really. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to start a ministry. I wasn't really ready to start a business, to open up my own store and sell product. I wasn't ready to be able to be the wife and to be the mother I needed to be, until some other things had to line up. And so that's why I encourage you guys when you come on to let you know that regardless of where you are right now, don't get discouraged, because sometimes God is just lining stuff up. He getting things in place so that we won't falter and we won't fall. Sometimes we move too fast and we get things started, they can come crashing down. I know years ago, and it's amazing. It's actually been almost 20 years. I cannot believe it. I used to go up to Bunnell, and I still had an organization actually, but now it's a service. It's under SOAR. But anyway, before I had SOAR as what I do now, everything fall under it. I had an organization called GIFT. Now, GIFT is actually a service that I provide under SOAR, but GIFT is Girls Inspired for Total Success. And it's been 20 years, and I will go up there, and actually, I was so blessed because it's a small town, and I would have sometimes 10, 13, 14 girls that would come out once a week, and we would talk about some things and encourage them, and I wanted a safe place for them. I wanted them to be somewhere that they feel like they can say something to me and it won't be all over town, that type of deal. And to encourage young ladies to let them know they can go further than where they are. Sometimes what happens, and this is what my struggles was when I was growing up, I thought basically I was as far as I could go. I thought, that was it when I lived in Bonaire. And then I had the audacity to move 30 miles away to Daytona. But for me, that was a good move because I came to realize it's more. And even living here, I understand that it's more than what you see. And the wonderful thing about now, because we have social media and so many things you can do online, you really don't have to leave your house, even that's work or whatever. And so this is an avenue that has opened up. It's been a blessing. It's been a blessing to me to be able to come on and just encourage people. And the reason why I encourage people, and I tell people all the time that I had a tough time growing up. I was the oldest of 8, which, actually it was 9 of us. My oldest brother pretty much died after childbirth. So, but then I took on the role as being the oldest. And so it was tough, not so much because I was the oldest, not so much because of my sibling. I got 1 sister, 6 brothers. It was never because of that. It was because of how my perception of who I was. And so I struggled with identity crisis of trying to determine who I was, and then had kids early and all that stuff, and depression, all that stuff. But God about me. I mean, it's not woe is me. I'm a long way from woe is me. I had to go through all of that in order to be who I am now. And even having kids young, I didn't understand. But when I look at my lineage, when I look at my daughters and then my grandkids, and so on and so forth, the kids that my lineage that will be here long after I'm gone, unless Jesus cracked the sky. And so that it was important, even though the timing was traumatic for me. But now that I'm looking at 40 years, 50 years later, I understand why I had to go through certain things, because it was lining me up for a time such as this. Because when I was growing up, we didn't have phones. When I used to go out to the club, we only had a couple of little clubs up there. And so we had a payphone. So, my kids, if somebody wanted me or whoever, they know to call the Charlie's Bar, and that person answer the phone, come in and come and get your tell. Oh, you got a phone call, and I remember when you just put a dime in the phone, and then it went into a quarter. I like, they got a lot of nerve. They're gonna put a quarter. I can't be using up my quarter. You know what I'm saying? And people be waiting in line to use the phone, that kind of thing. So I grew up in that era where that's how it was. But not everybody and their mama. Heck, my grandkids got phones. They know more about technology than I do. So when you're going through life, don't get discouraged. I mean, sometimes you may falter, you may fall, it may look like you're not going to make it. It may look like life is over, but trust me, it's not over. Because when I had said when I retire, I had already made these big plans. I was going to retire. I was just sit back in a rocking chair, and I'm just going to breeze through life and enjoy the Lord and go to church and all that stuff until He called me home. But listen, my life really didn't start until till the day I said, that's it. I'm not working no more. At least not there. I'm not gonna say no more, because who's to say, but not there. I was tired of that. And so I realized that was a turning point in my life. And I always said I would stay there for 40 years. I stayed at 37. I just couldn't do the last 3. I couldn't do it. It just couldn't. And so it was like I was released. something happened. There was a boldness. There were some things that I started, really saying, "Wow, I didn't know I could do that. Oh, I didn't know I could do that either." And so what me leaving at this point, that point in my life, which almost is coming up on a year soon, me leaving was that turning point, was that time that I could really step out and do the things I was called to do, because that job was my provision for, to maintain raising my children, maintain, paying my bills, the usual thing people do. But then when I stepped away, and I waited, of course, till I was 62, and I can get Social Security. I said, well, I have some money, it's okay, I'll be okay. And but what I didn't understand is that God had already had a plan for me, but I could not walk into the plan until I did what I needed to do. So many times God has a plan, but He's waiting on us. I'm not saying everybody's going to leave their job. I'm not saying that. No, if God didn't say that, you better to stay right where you are. But I'm saying is sometimes we have to step out. We have to make a change. We have to make a difference. We say you've been called for a business. We need to incorporate, or we need to get our LLC. Or if you say you're going to do this, I know my sister just started a business. And she got a shirt and everything, and then her business is Diva Cuts. I think Cutz, if I'm right. But anyway, and it's pretty cool because her shirts are beautiful. It's pretty cool because it's not what you think. When you see it, it's like it's Diva Cut, mean that lawn service, and it's very unique. It's very unique. And also she's a pastor, and she do daycare, so she's multifunctional. And sometimes when you've been called to do something, sometimes it's more than just doing that. Like I'm a preacher. I'm on social media. I think we're on by at least well, we here 1, 2, 3. I'm here 4 nights a week. I'm here Mondays, Tuesdays, uh every Friday and Sunday. So I'm here 4 days, and then on the first and third Saturday mornings I'm on social media. So I'm out here, and I'm doing some things. So I said all that to say this, to encourage you, because sometimes we don't do stuff because we don't have money. I can't do this. I always talk about money, and I'm too old, and that. No. Some things don't take money. Some things just take stepping out. Because if you step out, if you do need money, if you step out, you'll be surprised who will be willing to sow into your ministry, or your organization, or your business, or whatever it may be. But the problem is that we sit back and we won't step out, and we don't have the faith that it takes. It takes faith. Listen, it takes faith for me to get on here. Because when I said it before, when I first started, I was shaking like a leaf. I said, oh my God. I'm getting, because it's not that I was afraid to be on social media, but I was always partnering with somebody else. So we kind of like bounce back on each other. She'll say something, we'll talk about some stuff. What do you think about this? And what do you think about this? And, we have what we do on Wednesday kind of broke down. Sundays we already know how we're gonna flow. So and it's an easy match. But then when I stepped out and came on here by myself, then it became a whole nother thing. Oh my God. But I was just so determined. I was so determined. Hey, Miss Norma, how you doing? And Wendy, thank y'all so much. Sharon, Sabrina, thank y'all so much for being on tonight. I see y'all here. But then it took a lot for me. And so because of the fear and the nervousness and the truth, I used to be shaking like, why? But now I take that same energy I had being afraid, and I'm not scared now. But it took me to go through that, and that's how it is when you have an organization, a business, or you believe that God have called you to do something, and the fear. Because it's funny about life, we always think about what if I don't make it, what if I fail? Because usually that thought about succeeding normally don't come first. The failure thought come first. And then after you step out, like, well, maybe I can do this. But immediately I started telling myself everything I can't do. I kind of, in a way, like Moses, saying, hey, I don't speak well, I don't do this and I don't do that. And, just that kind of foolishness. But I had to go through that in order so I can encourage somebody else. Because if I've never been through it, I'm gonna tell you how to get through it. I can tell you what the books say, but I'm telling you what I walked through and how I overcame it. It was difficult, but I was just so determined to do it. I was so determined. that God had put it on my heart. I was so determined. Even working with young girls, I'm so determined. I am heading to Bunnell. I'm just trying to get some things in line, and I'm trying to open a store and trying to do some other stuff. But I'm trying to get that stuff in line. My prayer is by July I'll be up there, because it's so important that I give back. Because I grew up there. I was them same streets them little girls walking on. I walked those same streets, and I'm not talking street walkers. What I'm talking about, just going from because when you grow up in a small community, it's most times it's like a circle. You just go round the block, and then you see the same people come round the block, because oftentimes we do that because they ain't nowhere to go. They just, I mean, now they got the gym, and they're doing some great things up there. Some great things up there. So that's why that's so important to me, because my feet trod it, shot it where their feet shots. Those steps, I made those steps. And when I was growing up, I didn't have a mentor per se. I didn't have somewhere I can go and feel comfortable, somewhere I can go and some motivational group, somebody to pour into me. I really didn't have that. When I went to church, that was, because that was a thing. You went to church, and so that's all the pouring in I got, which was good because I needed that too. But now it's so many other things that they are exposed to, and I know they banning books and saying all this other stuff. But listen, you can ban all the books you want, but you can go right online and get the books. You can go right online and find it. And the thing is, when you ban the books and you keep talking about it, over and over and over. So now the kids are curious, like, to me, just ban them and shut up if that's what you're gonna do, but because they're exposed to stuff. Some of the stuff when I actually, a lot of times a couple of my grandkids, I pick them up from school and I listen to them. Man, they have some very interesting conversations. Sometimes you should listen to your children and your grandchildren. Listen to what they're saying. Because some of the jokes, one of them told me a joke, I was like, that's not appropriate, because somebody told her a joke. I said, don't repeat everything you hear. But they're comfortable enough to be able to talk, and that's how their mom is raising them, which is awesome. That they don't have to hide nothing. They still probably would, because I hear stuff, but I hear stuff because I know I couldn't really tell my mom, and also I hear some stuff because I didn't think of my mama business, because I want to do what I wanted to do, which of course was really wasn't a good thing, but it is what I did. And so I just said all of that. And I always talk about it. I always give my spiel, because that's the real reason I'm on here. My real purpose and my real reason is to really encourage you, and don't let your situation, don't let your pockets. Hey, sometimes you may look in your wallet and you don't see nothing but lint. That has nothing to do with your calling. It has nothing to do with your business. It has nothing to do with your organization. It has nothing to do with what you've been predestined to do from the day you were born. It has nothing to do with that, not to start. Now, of course, as you get going and get moving, of course you're gonna need some. But the first thing you have to do is step out and say, you know what, I'm gonna make a step. If it's nothing but getting business cards, or if it's going on social media, if it's telling somebody or encouraging somebody, maybe you're an encourager. Maybe you've been called to be able to speak into that person's life. I've had people, that have spoken to my life, and they don't even know how they blessed me. I was at the store actually the other day, and I was just talking to the lady. And you could tell, I don't know, something was going on with it. I don't know. But I was trying to get me a sub. Like I was looking at it, I was just talking, and I kept smiling. She said, you know what, ma'am, you have such a beautiful smile. See, sometimes it's just a small gesture. Sometimes it's saying, you know what, I'm gonna be kind to somebody. I'm gonna speak to that person. You know, I don't know how many times I just go up and talk. The lady had a dog. I got a dog. I want to talk to the lady about the dog. Sometimes it's just taking out that time to say hello. Now you got some grouchy folks, and you got some people who don't want to be bothered, but you got a whole lot of people that just waiting for that person, somebody just to see them. I don't know if you've ever felt like this. When I was in school many years ago, there was a book called the Yellow Wallpaper. And what the Yellow Wallpaper was, that book always stuck in my mind. It was talking about this young lady who felt like nobody nobody saw her. And in this particular, in her house was this yellow wallpaper. And she said she felt like she was a part of the wallpaper. Because when you have wallpaper on your walls, you don't come every day and admire your wallpaper. It's just there. It's like, you know, it's there, but you don't go and look at it. And she felt like she didn't matter. She felt like nobody saw her. Nobody understood her, you know. And hey, Michelle, Coco. And so many times we're like that. We feel like we, the yellow wallpaper. We do. I felt like there's so many times in my life. And so, of course, along the way, because, you know, I can pretty much count. I told my kids, one day when we were talking about my retirement, I said, Chad, I ain't going to do no retirement. I retired last year. Oh, Mom, you need to do retirement. I said, I ain't got that many friends. I ain't got about 5 or 6. I mean, I do have some friends, but I mean, I don't have, you know, a lot of people that I surround myself, and it's always been intentional, you know, because when we were growing up, we couldn't even, like, we were growing up, we couldn't go borrow no sugar, no eggs, or we didn't have no sugar, eggs, and nothing. Too bad. We could not knock on nobody's door. And can you got a cup of sugar? My mama didn't play that, you know. So I've always kind of been kind of closed off in a sense. And so this is like a big deal for me, you know. But all I again, I said a whole bunch of stuff, but when it all narrows down, when it all get to where I want to be, it's still to encourage you. And you know, I'm gonna tell you what the enemy, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get on what I'm gonna talk about. The enemy sometimes will tell you all of your flaws, all of your I can't and I won't and I will not. And they'll use that so much in your vocabulary. And some of that stuff you need to just scratch, you know, I will, I can. You know, it may not come together today, and it may take a minute, because I started my ministry 20 years ago, and it's just mind-boggling. I thought about it today. I said, I surely did. It's been that long ago that I started up in Bunnell, and then I stepped away because of some things that traumatized me a little bit. So I stepped away from it, but I still had the ministry, and the need is still great. You know, there will always be little girls. There will always be, you know, grown women, and with gifts, it's girls inspired for total success. Inside of every woman is a little girl. Inside of every little girl, one will emerge. And so that is so important, because we all, I don't care how old you are, at one point you were a little girl. And for so many of us, we still got those little girl issues that we have not resolved. When I started going back and looking over my life, and you know, I had some tough times and years of depression. I started looking back over my life, and it's still, a lot of it stemmed from little girl issues that I had not resolved. And a lot of them was not my mama's fault, my sister, my brother. A lot of them was my fault, that I did not ever really get the help I needed to get in order to resolve those issues. And I tell often, I tell a story about when I got my GED in 75. My class, I think, graduated in 76. And then I remember, and this traumatized me. I don't know why I did it, but I did it. I actually went to the graduation. And so during that time, you know, it was a small class. And so my time at that time, my name was Annette Louise Ford. And so when they were calling the names, and when they got there where my name would have was supposed to be, I felt this, like, in the pit of my stomach, like I was kicked. And it took years to get past that issue. And I kept saying, why am I just dealing with it? Because I understood, number one, I shouldn't have went, but I did. But I understood that at that time in my life, that was so important for me, to always say I was going to graduate. You know, I'm going to go to college. You know, I was going to be a nurse. And I think all that came crashing down, because here I was married, with a little baby, little girl. And here's my class that was graduating. And so at that point, that moment in my life, I felt like none of my dreams, none of my visions would ever come to pass. I struggled with that, y'all. When I said that was awful, it was awful for me. But at the end of the day, it took some years, but it all worked together for my good. Because I ended up, even though I didn't march with my class, I went and graduated. I got 3 degrees. Whoopie-doo. But I was so determined that I was going to get past that point. You know, we all have those pivotal points in our lives that causes us to be stagnated or causes us to not go as far as we want to go at that moment, that thing somebody told you, or that place you went, or something that for somebody else it may not have been a big deal, but for you it was devastating. And so that's what I say about those little girl issues that we have not resolved. And then also I did from 5 years old to 105, because now we got these little girls one day will be women. So my prayer is that they will have, we can't save the world, but if we could save one or two, my prayer is that these young ladies will have somebody in their lives, whether it be their mother, the aunt, whoever, that can pour into their lives. And prayerfully, you're not going to save them from everything, but maybe you can help them with some of the roadblocks, because I had some roadblocks in my life and it stunted my life for a while. It caused me to run on automatic pilot. It caused me not to really pursue what I wanted to pursue, because I wanted to be a nurse. Oh, I want to be a nurse so bad. I was going to be a nurse. And at this point in my life, I don't have that desire anymore. Number one, I can't have C, because I probably need some real thick glasses or whatever, but I don't have that desire. But at that time, that's what I wanted to do. And I feel like I would have really done good at that, because that was a desire. But sometimes the things that we desire may not be the things that God would have for us. There's nothing wrong with wanting and desiring, not even pursuing it, but I felt at that moment, that pivotal moment in my life, and I traced it back. I couldn't figure out, what is it? And it hit me. And I remember those feelings came flooding back one time. Those feelings of how I felt sitting there, because that was my class. These were the people I was supposed to graduate with. And so I said all that to just encourage you. And I tell my story because I can tell you what the Bible says. I know the word. And I'm going to share a couple of things tonight. And I can tell you some things, but I want you to know some things I personally walked through. I can tell you about Moses and Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. I can tell you about those people. I can tell you about David. Those people that walked through adversities and overcame. But when I come on here, I want to tell you about my adversities. I want to tell you how I overcame. That's why I bring other people on here, also not just for adversities, but also for you can be encouraged by these women and men who have overcame things that it would have taken other people out. When Sabrina was over here, she was saying how she didn't work for 3 years. And she got unemployment. That didn't last long. They be carrying on by all this unemployment. That didn't last that long. Don't let it fool you. I worked in all that field. No, it didn't last as long as they cared. All these people just want to sit around and don't work. That's a lie, because you can't get unemployment if you haven't worked. So that's a lie right there. So obviously you had to have work to get unemployment. They don't give unemployment for people who have not paid in some quarter hours. So first, that was a huge lie I used to hear all the time. I used to roll my eyes around, because that's not true. But she was talking about that, and she said for 3 years she didn't work, but God sustained her. She had a craft. God had given her ability. Something that came naturally. She was talking about her family, most of her cousins and all of them bake. But because of what that thing in her hand, she was able to use that to help her persevere. And so that is so important. I'm hopefully, since I retired, I'm just all over the place. I'm trying to settle myself and get myself together. But there's some things I'm planning to do. So I just want to encourage you, to let you know that you can make it, y'all. I don't care. Whatever that thing is, whatever it is, I people on here that women had her business, oh my gosh, for years and years and years. She like children. She got children all the time. They are, oh no, no. That's her thing. But I like children as long as they older children, but there's so many gifts people have. And some of y'all are walking in it. But then there are other that you're walking in it, but you need to expand it. Okay, you've been there too long. Now it's time to not take it to another level. And so when I come on here, this is a time for me to encourage, like Shell Coco, to encourage, to push. Yeah, so what? It didn't work the first time. It may didn't work the second time. Heck, it may be on your fourth time. But listen, hey, this may be the time. And if you talk to people who have these big organizations and businesses and churches and ministries, if you really talk to some of these people, you know how many times some of those people fail. They didn't try it the first time and it worked. Oh no. I was listening to this one preacher. He wrote a book of prophecy, Giles, Pastor Giles. And he was saying that when he went to them with the book, they told him no. He said he went to a prominent book place, and they told him, no, 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 we don't do that. We can't help you with that prophecy. He said nobody's going to help you, with that prophecy book. That no, 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 no. Listen, the man had released the book. It's not even on the shelves yet, and it's a bestseller. I kind of chuckled. And all I know is what God told me. He said, I know other people said no, but all it takes y'all is one yes. And one yes. And I'm looking for my yes on some stuff. It don't take but one yes. And sometimes you don't even have to hear nothing. Sometimes just take for you to get off your seat or do nothing and decided I'm going to do something. And this is how I had to do. I had to figure out social media, and I still suck in a little area. Like I supposed to be subscribe, like, and share. I have some things I'm supposed to be putting up here. I ain't too good at that. I'm getting there. But but that's important, whatever it may be. My logos, I come on, I talk. So right now that's my tool. My voice is my tool, and my voice is to encourage, and I want to be able to do that. I'm also thinking maybe in the next few months to do a podcast. So I haven't done it yet. I've been thinking about it, to do a podcast, because there's so many people I really want to touch their lives. And that's why I tell my story, because my story, if you really knew my story, I'm one of the ones that shouldn't have made it. But see, that was my perception of my story. But God perception and God call on my life meant more than what I thought of myself. I didn't think much of myself. And I really, be honest, I really didn't even think I would be here. I thought, I can remember thinking for years, about 35, I'd be dead. Now, I don't know where that come from. That's just the mind play tricks on you, but my perception of who I was skewed. It was really not a good thing. And so this is why I come on, because I know where I was, and I know I know where I am now, and I can see where I'm going. I don't see everything, but I can see that I'm headed in the right direction. So I'm just going to talk about a little bit about brainstorming, and I'll be gone. I want to talk about brainstorming is because this is when we come up with a solution to a problem. Brainstorming means that we have a idea of what we've been called to do. We have somewhere in the back of our mind that we've been called to do certain things. So we have to start brainstorming. We have to figure out, okay, so say, you've been called a caterer. I have a caterer. I have a friend that cater. So, if you're going to cater, you need pots, right? You need pans, you need dish. So it depends on your catering system that you design. So there's certain things you need to do. If you're going to be a caterer, you just may need the pots, the pans, and all that stuff that goes with that. Well, but if you're a caterer plus decorator, so you need to get tablecloths and this and that and other. So then you have to brainstorm. You have to come up with some ideas. Even when I came on here, I had to come up with some ideas. Okay, I'm coming on Tuesday. This is TNT, Tuesday Night Talk. Okay, so what I'm gonna talk about? If I'm gonna come on here on Tuesday Night Talk, what would be my subject? And then SOAR, speak, orate, articulate, reverberate. So everything that I do on the SOAR has something to do with me speaking. So obviously, if I'm gonna be on speaking, then I gotta have be able to provide information that hopefully will be helpful to other people. So if I'm a speak, orate, articulate, and reverberate, that means I'm sharing ideas. So that's what's so important about brainstorming. So, and I talked about this a couple of weeks ago when I was in college, how they did clustering, and clustering and brainstorming sort of kind of like go together in my mind, because what clustering was, you take one word, say I take love. So I'm going to take the word love. And so I'll write it really big. And then around the word love, I'm going to write a word that pertains to love. Maybe love, whatever love means to me, one word. Love may mean peace. So now that I got love, I got peace. A love may mean joy. But I love now. Now I have joy. My spirit is filled with joy. And so what with clustering, then you would come up with all these words all around that one word, and then that helps you write an essay. That helps you to come up with ideas and thoughts. And so that's what's so important about the clustering. The same thing with brainstorming. So you're coming up with ideas and thoughts and trying to figure out where, okay, now you said, I know I've been called to do this, whatever the this is. Now, how am I going to take this and get this off the ground? I still will go back. I can talk about my sister all I want to. She don't care. But my sister now, she has Diva Cut. She had told me about it. I said, that's pretty cool. I mean, I really like the idea. So now, then the other day, I saw it pop up on social media, Diva Cuts. So now she had the idea. She had to come up with, how am I going to put this together? Because she's not going to be cutting. She's going to have people that's going to do that. So she had to get people in place. She had to get her color. She had to get her logo and everything lining up. And so that's why it's so important to brainstorm, because now you're trying to come up with ideas to help you get where you need to be. So I know what the Bible says. We love this. Oh, write the vision, make it plain. Yeah, write the vision, make it plain. But you got to at some point make sure it get off the pages, because some of y'all have wrote the vision, made it plain, and it's over in the closet catching dust. So you write it, make it plain, but then you got to brainstorm and you got to come up with what you need to help you get that thing off the ground, whatever it takes. Good. Oh, all right. Good night. Sabrina, good night. So that is so important that you do that and help get that off the ground. So that's what I was talking about, brainstorming. And I want to deal with a couple of scriptures, and we'll be out of here. I'm talking more than I really wanted to. Proverbs 19:21 says, we humans keep brainstorming options and plans, but God's purpose prevails. So you can come up with your ideas, but in the end, it's God's business. But what we have to do, when they say wait on the Lord, that does not mean sit. It means work while you're waiting. God, I trust you, and I know you're going to do it. But in the meantime, I'm working. And Colossians 3:23 says, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters. And that's Colossians 3:23. That's NIV version. So in other words, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart. So whatever you've been called to do, whatever God has laid on your heart, whatever He's put on the inside of you, work. I know it get discouraging. I know it don't look like it's coming together. You know how many times I've been discouraged? Oh my gosh. Sometimes I'm discouraged when I come on here, but I push past it. Why? Because I know there's something great at the end of this tunnel. That God has a plan for me. He has a plan for you, but we have to figure out what it is and brainstorm, come up with ideas and thoughts, pray about it, pray about it. In the meantime, when He don't answer, I keep working. I don't stop. I be doing, when I get off of here tonight, it's, I got to get on my Cricut. I bought a Cricut. I'm been fooling around with it, trying to, I don't quite understand it totally, but I bought it because I was determined there's certain things I'm going to do. I got to figure out, yeah, I get the Social Security, all that's wonderful, but I got to figure out how to have residual income coming in, not just to bless me, but I want to bless some other people, because I could talk all day, but what if I meet somebody and yeah, I can encourage them and they may say, you know what, I just need to get $50 for food, I could, and then I don't have anything. So I'm asking God to be blessed, not only bless me spiritually, but bless me financially, so I can be a blessing to somebody else. And, so I'm always thinking about it. One of my greatest goals that I've set for myself, and, I don't know how God's going to do it, and I can't worry about it. But one of the things I've always, and this has been on my heart for many years, and I tell you just how long I haven't really had no money. But one of the things that I really, really, really wanted to do, I wanted to get at least 3 or 4 young ladies at first year in college. And I wanted to foster those girls. And I wanted them that they didn't have to work. I wanted them to focus. I mean, it was prerequisite. They got to work and they got to get good grades, but I don't want them to have to work. I want to be able to, they'll get the degrees or whatever. I mean, not the degrees, but the financial aid and all that. But I want to be able to supplement anything they need, and all their job is not to worry about going to no Burger King, no McDonald's. We don't have nothing against it. You got to do what you got to do. But I want to foster them, and their thing at the end, I want to see them march across the stage. And that has always been something that's always just been um, in my heart to do. And so I'm asking God to please bless me with residual income, that I'll be able to be a blessing to those who can't, can't do it. They can't. So, well, I didn't give y'all my little spiel tonight. I just wanted to share my thoughts with you, and some of the ideas that I have. And I just want to encourage you to persevere, to get to where you need to be. Don't don't get discouraged by where you are. If you look at where you are right now, especially say if you're not where really where you want to be. So and you look at your life right now, it's easy to make a decision based on what you see. I don't make my decision based on what I see, because if I base my decision on what I see right now, then I'm not going to go any further, because I figure this is all I can do. I base how I feel my decision on possibilities, on the things that I know God has promised me, on the things that I have yet to see, on the things that's waiting on the horizon, on the things that He has set aside just for me. But all I know, there may be somebody I may walk by in the store one day and say, "Hey, God, you never know. God told me to bless you with this." You never know. You never know how life is going to do it. It's too many people have too many stories how they've been blessed. Somebody may teach me how to invest, because people make a lot of money. I don't know how to do that. But I really want somebody I mean, I don't want nobody just because it. I want somebody who could teach me, who really have made money doing it. So you just don't know what's around the corner. So I'm just here to encourage you. Don't give up. Keep pushing. Keep persevering. Know that regardless of what you see, it is not the end of the road. And until you leave this world and take your last breath, you still have an opportunity to get it right. Let me tell you something. I see more people um, that's disabled riding around in those little wheelchairs. They all over the place. They do not let their disabilities limit them. And we got the use of our arms and legs and our minds, and we won't even get up and do anything. I saw somebody the other day. I say, "Wow!" And someone be riding right down, be riding right down the road. Like that big old car. I gotta chuckle sometimes. But listen, they are so determined not to say, "Listen, I know I have limitations. I know that I may not ever walk again, or I may, if I do walk, and I can only walk so far, and I may not be able to do this or do that, and my limitations may be this or that, but I won't let the limitation stop you. Stop you now. There may be some things you'll never be able to do. Like I tell people all the time, I will never be the president of the United States. Oh, but there's a so lot. Listen, I will be the president of SOAR. I'll be the president of Speaking Orate, Articulate, and Reverberate. You know what I'm saying? So some things I'll never do, but there's so much that I can do, and that's why I believe in helping people. Even like with my friend, whenever she have a catering job, I make sure I go, and I ain't gonna do no cooking. She already know that, but I'm gonna go help her serve. Why? Because you have to help another sister or brother in their job, in their ministry, their organization, and everything ain't always about being paid. It may become a day. Listen, it may come a day somebody will bless me, but I believe in that. Now, listen, my sister now, if she ever need me to come preach or something, I'll try to make it happen. She know I ain't gonna cut no grass now. She already know that, but I'll do what I can do. You know what I'm saying? I buy some gas for the more. But I believe in giving back. I believe in giving back because God has been so good to me and brought me out of so much uh, heartache and so much disappointment, so many tears, so much grief. But through it all, He brought me through it. So, and I'm so thankful. And I just want you to be encouraged tonight, and just let you know that you have what it takes. You have what it takes, but you got to take what you have, whatever that may be. Take what you have. Take that business off that shelf. Take that whatever that you've written up and got it all looking good and everything lined up, but it's on the shelf. It's not helping nobody up there. So whatever it is, work on it. Don't let nobody discourage you. You know how many people, you'll try to do something and they'll tell you, "Oh, child, you girl, that don't make no sense. Child, no." No, you got to get to the point that you keep persevering. If it means going by yourself. Wendy said, yes, we must help push one another. And she is right. We got to. It's so important. If you start blessing other people, watch God bless you. Watch God. When I've given when I didn't really have it, but I gave it, and I didn't give it grudgingly. I was like, God, now I know you told me to do this, and okay, I'm trying. I may tell him that 3 or 4 times. Oh my God, I know you told me, but at the end of the day, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. But anyway, that's gonna be it for me tonight. I'm getting off a few minutes early. But yeah, I think I probably talked enough tonight. It's been such a joy tonight. I'm so thankful that you guys come on here, and I'm thankful that you really participate, and that's good. And I'm so happy that it's 9 o'clock, and I feel people probably in the bed, because that was Sabrina told me last week. She said I'll come on, but she said, "Girl, I go to bed early." I said, "Sabrina, just stay on up just tonight. I won't keep you long." So some people do go to bed early, and so for those of y'all that's up that come on with me, I appreciate it, and I would love next week if you come. Bring somebody with you. Bring somebody with you. I have something to say. Trust me, I have a whole lot to say. And I talk about the word of God, but I like to bring it right up front and say, hey, this person went through this. This person overcame that. This person, and the list go on and on. You will be surprised at what people have walked through. You'll be surprised what people have overcome. You'll be surprised how people have, you see them and they look like everything's all right, but there's a struggle on the inside. They're dealing with depression. They're dealing with frustration. They're dealing with marital problems, just dealing with stuff. And so that's why it's so important for those of us who know prayer to really pray for people. You don't have to know them. I just pray. Pray for Flagler County. That's encompasses everybody. I pray for Volusia County. Sometimes I call individual names, but whatever. Just make sure we cover each other in prayer. And if you can give back, I'm trying really to kind of hook at the COVID's not gone. I don't tell that lie because that's not true. People still get sick, but it's subsiding. Put it like that. And people are not getting sick as much. So my one of the things I want to do, I noticed a couple things even on social media that I'm going to, and I don't even know the people. A couple of ladies, I've just seen their names. I don't know them personally, but I'm going to make sure that I support what they're doing. Because that's important that we learn to give back. And even like in Flagler County, I don't know too many people, but I'm willing to go up there and do some things. I mean, I really am. And if somebody doing something, hit me up. If I could come, I'll be there to support you because that's important, whatever that may be. If I can't come, I'll let you know. But if I'll try to make it. I really will. But anyway, that's it for me tonight. I am so grateful. I'm so thankful for another night. Hey, this is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. I'm just so glad to be alive. I'm so glad to be in the number. I'm so glad to be able to utilize the gifts God gave me. I said it last week. I used to talk so much when I was growing up, and now God has taken my voice box and turn it around for his good, because I had something to say about any and everybody. And don't come for me, because if you come for me, you're gonna be sorry. I was always quick with it and quick tongue and say things I shouldn't have said. So now God had taken that tongue and saved it, because I got a saved tongue now, y'all. Okay, I got a saved, sanctified tongue. But now, I really, for real, I love people, and I want people to win. We talk about that all the time, on the movement. That's tomorrow night at 7, by the way. We talk about that: show up, engage, and win. We talk about that. If you show up and engage, I promise you can win, but you got to show up. That's the problem, y'all. Half of you don't want to show up to nothing. You don't want to show up to your own stuff. Let's not even talk about other people's stuff. You don't want to show up to your own organization, your own business, whatever. So you got to show up. First, show up. Then engage. Get involved in your stuff. I ain't even talking about that. Start with your stuff. Get engaged. Do what you need to do. Put stuff in place, and then I promise you're going to win. I promise you're going to win. It's a fixed fight. I preached that not too long ago. It's a fixed fight, but there's some things that you got to do. Even with a fixed fight, the boxers and the wrestlers, whoever, still got to show up. They still got to show up. So you have to show up, engage, and win. I promise you, Watch God. I promise you, things will start getting in line. Yeah, be some tough days. Yeah, I can't say every day be Sunday. I can't say every day the sun will shine and every day it will rain and flowers will come up. That's not life. But I will tell you, if you keep your eyes on God and keep persevering and keep moving, watch God change some stuff. Not only that, let me say this, and I promise you I'm gonna get off. One thing I've learned about God, He don't always change. He don't always change the situation. He'll change how you view a situation. He'll change your thought pattern because things just used to tear me up. Now I look at it from a different view. God had given me a spiritual eyes to say, wait a minute, hold up. Don't click, don't lose it. No, I'm doing something. So the same mess, the same situation, same foolishness, but I have a different, God has given me a different insight. The way I feel about it, the way I see it, how I see people, because people used to get on my nerves, and I'm sure I got on somebody's nerve too, but I even see people different because I know at the end of the day, I didn't make them. I didn't make them. I didn't take the dirt and form nobody. But all I can do is try to pour everything back in that's in me into my cup out to help fill somebody else's cup. If it's going to help you to show up, engage, and win. So, okay, that's it. My name is Annette L. Anderson, and this is TNT. This is Tuesday Night Talk, and this is where we take flight and soar. We like to soar. So we love to soar because soar means that we speak, orate, articulate, and reverberate. And we just talk about some things. And hopefully, you guys know. I want to repeat that on tomorrow night at 7, the movement will be on same platform. Me, Anita Faye Wilson. It's a motivation organization here to educate, mind, empower, nurture, and transform. And if you come on tomorrow night, then she'll give you a rundown of all the stuff we do. It's a lot. I don't want to say it because I'm probably going to forget stuff because I always do. I need to write it down so I can just read it verbatim. But anyway, that's it for me tonight. Just hopefully you can meet us tomorrow night. I would love to see your faces and bring somebody if you can. If not, hopefully I'll see you next week. But have a wonderful rest of your week, and just know that God loves you and I love you too. Be blessed, everybody. Good night.